Tomorrow, he said, I return to my sit-ups. Chapter 6, Mare. King's Cage. If you haven't read it yet, read it now. So, story time number 1. Just so you know, I'm very salty about videos today. I got this new video app. It's pretty good, you guys. If you want it, you should get it. It's called Vlog It. And I was really excited to use it. I kind of played around with it. So I started doing this video to upload on YouTube on my actual phone. And it split it up into 2 different videos. So I was going to use it on Vlog It. So I think what I'm going to do for this one is I am going to upload this one, but I'm going to save it to see if I can save it to my phone first, then edit it, and then I'll re-upload it and delete the other one. Possibly. So anyways, this proves that I have been trying to do this for a while, because I said I would introduce my food. Before it was eaten by me, it was a full chocolate cherry nut protein bar. Now it's not even a half eaten one. Now it's kind of like a triangle deformed thing. And then I have the infamous Coca-Cola. So yeah. Sorry if my camera blurs up too. So, today's story is very interesting. It was frustrating at the time and scary, but it's good now and I laugh about it. So, it was at this church, the CIY, this church trip. It was in Michigan, and almost our whole youth group went. And there was this girl she was older than my friends and I, but she wasn't allowed to be by herself because she was like a really big troublemaker and stuff. And I tell you guys, troublemaker is emphasized many times in this. You will figure that out throughout the story. Well, because she's not allowed to be by herself, she has been constantly asking my friends and I to go with her to different places. Now, usually, she would say, I don't know, this is just an example, but, hey, I want to go to Barnes & Noble. Will you go to Barnes & Noble with me? Okay, sure. But we wouldn't say, okay, sure. We would just be like, no, I don't want to. I'm hanging out here. I don't really want to go on a walk. Especially after a lot of, big sessions and stuff that we had to do outside. It was just too much. And, so, this girl, we're going to call her Annie. And Annie, like I said, was a troublemaker. And when she came to my friends and I, let's call them, actually, let's not do them yet. The main friend that I will be mostly talking about in this story, we're going to call her Katie. Katie and I were hanging out in a dorm room at the girls' dorm with our other friends. We're going to call them Ruth and Olivia. Ruth and Olivia. We were hanging out with Ruth and Olivia. And Annie comes up and she's like, hey, do you want to go somewhere with me? And Katie and I just felt so bad. We felt so bad. And because she was asking us a million times throughout the entire week, can you go with me here and here? And we never heard about her getting in any kind of trouble. And so, we just knew she was a troublemaker. Up until this point, she never got in trouble or anything. And so we felt bad. So we're like, okay, Annie, we'll go. So, we go. Now, I need to map this out. So I don't have a piece of paper with me, but let me use this book. So if the girls' dorm is like my face here, except it's like more square, there's like bushes and stuff on the sides, and there's like a sidewalk porch thingy that goes up. Now, that will come in handy, especially the bushes thing in Friday's episode story time thing. But so there's bushes there, and then if you turn right and then turn facing this way, turn left and keep going straight, you pass the cafeteria, which is where Katie and I thought we were going. But this, we didn't know for sure. Okay, I know some of you are going to be like, you're so stupid, why wouldn't you ask? Well, we did ask. Yes, we did. We asked many times. So we're like, we get far enough, and we're like almost past the cafeteria, and we thought we were just going to hang out. And so we realized that that's not what's going to happen. And so we knew something bad was going to happen pretty soon. So we're like, Annie? She's like, yeah. And she goes, and we're like, where are we going? And she goes, instead of just giving us a hint like a normal person would do, we're just telling us, because no harm in that. She goes, I can't tell you. Excuse me? You can't tell me? Give me a minute. You're not allowed to be by yourself, and we basically risked our lives to come with you, and you're not going to tell us where we're going. Smart. So, Katie and I keep walking with Annie. We keep walking and walking, and we keep walking, and we get to the cafeteria, okay? A little past the cafeteria, and there's this building across from it, and it kind of looks like a super old like rectangle library kind of, except I think it was a museum of something. I don't know why she went in it, but she went in it. And she goes in, and before she goes in, she goes, I have 2 rules. And Katie and I look at each other like, excuse me, what does she think she's talking to? Like, we're coming with her so she can actually do something during CIY. Like, but anyways, she goes, I have 2 rules. 1, you cannot call our youth leaders. At all. Now, let me remind you, later we found out why she said this. I'm just going to give you a hint. Girls aren't allowed to be in or around the guys' dorm, and vice versa. Okay, and that will also be needed, that knowledge will be needed for Friday's video. So she goes, first of all, don't call or talk or text to our youth leaders. Okay. And 2, stay right here. Do not move anywhere while I'm in there. I will be in there for like 5 to 15 minutes. Do not move. And we're like, okay. Well, that just happened. So she goes in, and I'm looking at Katie, and Katie goes, call them now. I know she said don't, but just call them. I don't know what's going to happen. And we're both like freaking the out. Like, we're flipping out. We're flipping the flip out, I swear, okay? So I call our youth leader, and one of our youth leaders, the woman, and kind of tell her what's going on, but because Annie was so quick to get in and out, I was like saying, hey, this is happening. I don't know where we're going. Something suspicious is happening. Katie and I don't know what to do. And then she came back out, so I quickly had to say, gotta go, bye, and I had to hang up. So I hang up, and we, I can't even believe this happened. And we start walking again for some reason with Annie here. We start walking again. And we're like, you need to tell us where we're going right now. She's like, no, I'm not going to tell you where we're going. Sorry, this camera is like blurring up and stuff. But she's like, I'm not going to tell you where we're going. And so we keep walking and keep walking. And finally she stops. She goes, okay, it is time. And Katie and I look at each other and we're trying not to cry. We're like, at least like, we are like, I don't know what's going to happen. This is terrifying. Like, we just don't know. And she, she turns around and she goes, we are going to do 3 things. At this point I was thinking, we? What do you mean by we? Because you dragged us into this thing. We don't know what's going on. We're innocent, I swear. And, she goes, we're going to do 3 things. She goes, first, we're going to go to the guy's dorm. Second, we're going to steal a scooter. And 3, we're going to fake a scooter crash and make it sound like I got injured really bad. What? Are you crazy? Are you demented? Like, why? So at this point, she like runs. She's like running on the sidewalk and stuff. And so I'm like, call my youth leader, call my youth leader. So I'm on the phone and I'm like, you gotta get here, hurry up. She's like, and I told her the plan and everything like she told us. And she goes, and all she could say was, okay, I'm on my way. And then she kind of just like stopped talking. And so she stopped talking and she starts like running. And I can hear like over the phone, I can hear her walking and running, and I'm trying to give her directions to where we were at based on where she was at. And I'm not very good with directions. And so I was trying to like figure it out. And so she finally sees us. At this point, Annie is dashing up to the guy's dorm. The guy's dorm, if you've ever seen the Atlanta Library, it's just like that. It's like the old brick. And it's got like the stairs that come up to it. And this little like house rooftop thing. So she runs up the stairs. And at that point, this youth leader runs after her. Which technically, the youth leader's not supposed to be in the guy's dorm anyway. But luckily the male youth leader was. And so, split scene, okay? Inside of the boys' dorm, you hear jumping and like stomping and all this stuff. And then you suddenly hear people talking to her and like the male youth leader coming down and everything. You hear that, and then on the outside, where Katie and I were on the outside, we are watching this, and as it gets louder in the guy's dorm, we hear all this chaos like from outside the guy's dorm, and people just like rushing in to see what's going on. Especially the people who saw my youth leader and Annie run into the guy's dorm. And so everyone's like making a big deal, and it's insane. And so Katie and I look at each other, we're like, run. And so we run, full sprinting, cutting through yards and stuff, like not even on the road or sidewalk anymore. We're just like running and running back to the girls' dorm where Olivia and Ruth were. And so we get there, we get to our dorm. The thing is we forgot the key in the dorm. So, stupid me. And, Mom called me, go downstairs. So, she goes, so we're like knocking and knocking, we're like, let us in. So, Olivia comes up and she opens the door. And she And she's like, what's wrong? And we just, like, pushed through her. And we, like, yeah. And so we explain everything that happened. And then later, Annie comes back, and she's just like, where are you guys? Are you guys okay? And we're, like, so scared. So everyone's just silent. And we never saw her for the rest of the trip, so I can't finish that story, really, but it was so weird. I always see her in school once in a while. She's weird. And then the funny thing, later, she actually got stopped from doing this whole thing. But later on, she, like, actually accidentally crashed her scooter and, like, cut up her knee. So, yeah, that is my story time for today. I hope my parents aren't mad at me because I just, like, declined, like, 2 of their calls while I was filming this. So, peace out. See ya.